Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Well, I've got a new blog here from Hodor, and he titled this Internet of Value Layers Expanding here. Very cool stuff in here. Now, as is always the case when I cover a Hodor blog, I cannot cover everything that's in it. It would be a rare instance where he writes a blog, and I could reasonably cover every single thing that he puts in here, because otherwise the video would just be outrageously long. So I'm going to kind of selectively go through. I kind of mapped out what I wanted to cover here. I definitely want to read the intros. I really like his intros for all of his blogs here. It just kind of gives a unique perspective, kind of like a bigger picture type of thing, and just shares his point of view, which is, of course, a unique point of view. So I'm going to hop in and cover all of that stuff. Now, before we get going here, if you would please delicately tap that like button, and if you're a fan of Ripple and XRP, you should consider subscribing to the Moon Lambo channel. I put out content pretty much every day. Okay, I didn't yesterday, rare exception, but almost every single day I'm putting out at least several videos. So, if you want to be caught up to date on the latest, consider subscribing. But even if not, thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. All right, let's get rolling here. The Internet of Value is beginning to take hold of people's imaginations and their daily life. Coil is continuing to grow, streaming XRP to content creators across the internet in real time. XRapid is transporting payments from one location on the globe to another at an almost undetectable low cost. And these low costs are allowing businesses like MoneyGram to step up competition and revitalize its cross-border payments. The Internet of Value's vision is money moving at the speed of information. Ripple commissioned a professionally produced commercial to demonstrate this concept using their favorite comparison, flying to the destination with cash personally versus sending it through banks, to emphasize their value proposition to banks at last year's Swell Conference. Each week, we see the individual layers of the Internet of Value expanding to include new exchanges, banks, remittance processors, and new hybrid financial institutions that deal in both fiat and crypto. And there are dozens of small teams that are now comprising a growing ecosystem of developers working on things like the XRP ledger, interledger connectors, web monetization, Coil, XRapid, and custody components. Each of these components contributes to the whole and toward the goal of moving value in real time, no matter if it's fiat money or digital assets. This is the way that technological change works. It's a multi-layered approach to putting all of the necessary pieces into the place to see the whole picture erupt into focus, and the XRP community is, with Ripple's encouragement, helping to get this final stage. This open approach to making the Internet of Value a reality is exciting to watch and is reflective of the spirit of crypto itself: open source, decentralized, accountable, innovative, exciting, and fun. Pick out the layer where you think you can help and make a positive difference to help propel the crypto market forward. Supporting each other is crucial in this effort. Together, we can help energize and continue XRP's adoption as the standard in digital assets. Well written, Hodor. You know, it's one of the things, this kind of popped in my head. One of the things that's kind of ridiculous to me is this, the degree to which, rather than just adopt superior layer 1 technology, trying to put 11 million band-aids on the Bitcoin blockchain, on this layer 1 technology that's just, it's energy intensive, it's costly per transaction, it's slow, and I keep thinking, like, XRP, obviously, many of the problems that Bitcoin has, it's solved by XRP. We no longer have to sit here trying to figure this out. You don't have to try and mask all these problems with a layer 2 technology. And so as I sit here and I'm like, given that most cryptocurrencies don't have one single use case, how is it that XRP has multiple use cases? And it simply is the case that those developers that are having trouble scaling and actually getting adoption of their products, if they would just use XRP, or if you don't want to, well, damn it, just use consensus. Use a cryptocurrency that doesn't use proof of work. Like just one that uses a consensus mechanism for solving the double spend problem. And it's just amazing to me that since there's a lot of ideology behind Bitcoin, and a lot of people I got some heavy bags from back in the day, and it's fascinating to me that look at all the problems you can actually solve with one cryptocurrency if it actually freaking works. Look what you can do with Coil. Bitcoin is too slow to be used for that use case and too costly. It's just fascinating to me that XRP is getting this much adoption. So just let me say it again. While most cryptocurrencies don't have a single use case, XRP has multiple use cases. I think it's the coolest thing in the world, and it couldn't be more clear. Here's another heading. So this is under Ripple news. Ripple's Spring Initiative is hosting and funding a hackathon from October 2nd to the 3rd, Wednesday and Thursday, respectively, at Berkeley, California, in the Pauley Ballroom. The event is happening contemporaneously with the first annual UBRI meeting. The Ripple engineering team will be participating in helping with the events and the participants. There will be a judges panel consisting of representatives from Ripple, Berkeley at Blockchain, and Electric Capital. Each participating team will construct enough code for a demo and will have an opportunity to present their work to the judges. While there are some significant opportunities for the winners of the hackathon, along with prize money, it looks like there are enough award categories to honor multiple participants. Good luck to the attendees of the hackathon, and I hope to learn about the winning projects more in the coming weeks. Let me scroll down a little bit further, because the next thing that he covered here was the most recent Ripple drop video. I covered that fairly extensively already, so I don't want to kind of rehash that material too much here. So let me just scroll down here a little bit. I did want to cover this. Okay, KFH Express. We first learned about Kuwait Finance House's membership in RippleNet in May of 2018. At that time, it was one of many Middle Eastern banks that chose to join RippleNet, the growing network of banks that is quickly replacing the aging Swift correspondence banking group. If you're new to the topic, it's important to note that KFH was established in 1977 as the first Islamic bank in Kuwait. An Islamic bank is a bank that handles its affairs and its investments in compliance with Sharia or Islamic law. This gives it some important distinctions from other banks, such as following the Muslim restrictions on riba or usury, which prohibits charging interest. That's just one example of what sets apart an Islamic bank from an ordinary bank. At the time that KFH joined RippleNet, not much was known about their internal strategies and plans, other than an obvious commitment to modern payment processing technology. Then, in October of last year, the bank's officials were quoted in a news publication talking about their first experience in using a newly constructed integration with RippleNet. And here's a quote: "With blockchain, KFH initiated a landmark agreement with RippleNet for remittance services and was the first in Kuwait to have a successful pilot transaction conducted recently." And the piece continues. Later in January of 2019, the bank indicated that it was going live with their new service, which would be limited to transfers to and from the largest Islamic bank in the world, the Al Rajhi Bank, headquartered in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It seemed like a careful and circumspect rollout of the new service. On September 8th, the Kuwait Times ran a story about how the bank was offering a new money transfer service for its customers called KFH Express. This is where your first question should be. Is KFH Express the same thing as their instant international transfer service? And the answer, in my view, is probably not. I looked at the bank's official website, and their instant international transfer service is still labeled as such. So what is their new service, KFH Express, and what technology is behind it? According to the article in the Kuwait Times, the technology used was built in partnership with a company called Fidabler. Fidabler is a huge money transmitter with enormous reach in the Middle East and Asia, and in February of this year, it was learned that Fidabler had become a member of RippleNet 2. The company has already formed an agreement with Siam Commercial Bank in Thailand to process payments to that country from some of its Middle East partners. So essentially, KFH is now operating its own in-house transfer service and is also using a new one that it constructed in collaboration with Finabler, which is, in turn, built on Ripple. It's one important example of a traditional bank that is not afraid to take important and critical steps to update its technology infrastructure. Congratulations to Kuwait Financial House and Ripple on yet another successful transformation. With each implementation of Ripple technology, the Internet of Value moves inexorably forward toward real-time settlement, which is awesome. So on RippleNet, I'm telling you, just wait for the rest of the ecosystem to get built out. XRapid's coming, XRP shall be used, and given that businesses must use it to engage in this new business model, man, just imagine what that can do for price long term. It's a brand new asset class that's worth, what is the market cap right now for the asset class? Like 260 billion or something stupid low like that. I'm telling you, you just wait. As soon as it becomes clear that XRP is here to stay, I suspect, this is not financial advice, but I still suspect that XRP will have a market cap somewhere in the trillions. So we'll see. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I don't think that makes sense at all. All right, next piece I want to cover here, Money Rebel. One of the common phrases bandied about by me and countless others on social media that share their opinion on crypto is for others to do their own research. Why is this comment so popular? For one thing, we're all in this together. While none of us, or at least very few of us, have what is known as inside information into the dealings of specific companies, we know, for the most part, just as much as the next person. And we're all working together to learn more. In that spirit, we should all recognize that a public, decentralized group is composed of a wide swath of personalities and capabilities. Since crypto traders really don't know how much effort went into various opinions, it's important for each market participant to verify any information on which they're basing their investment decisions. One relatively new XRP community member that has decided to communicate with others and share his own findings is at XRP_owl. On Coil and Twitter, he's published some of his findings, including this recent one about Money Rebel, a new crypto platform. And so here's a tweet from at XRP_owl. Money Rebel implementing cross-border transfers with Ripple appears to support Bitstamp, XRapid, Vanguard, and Sberbank Russia. Money remit fiat to crypto XRP, ? Anyway, and then the piece continues. In this case, it looks like Money Rebel operates a fiat on-ramp via a mobile platform, and its corporate description also mentions goals of joining together different aspects of the financial system. In a document that at XRP_owl acquired, it's apparent that Money Rebel has integrated Ripple technology into its stack, specifically for cross-border payments. This was significant, and it made me wonder how many other applications and platforms are actively integrating Ripple technology and solutions. The takeover of Swiss Roll as the new modern payments infrastructure is in progress, and findings like this add to our collectively known data points. All right, now, next thing he covers, and this was fascinating, it has to do with the concept of XRapid tracking. And given the content of my first video today, which had to do specifically with volume of XRP overtaking volume of Bitcoin on Mexican cryptocurrency exchange Bitso, I just found this fascinating. It kind of would have been nice if I could have stuck these two together in one video, but nonetheless. So anyway, here's what Hodor has to say. XRP has multiple very large use cases. This includes using it as a bridge asset for cross-border payments. Essentially, XRP plays the role of a bridge asset so that banks, remittance processors, and others are free from having to establish multiple banking relationships in other countries. Instead, these banks and businesses only need to hold XRP to easily transform currencies from one type to another. Ripple, the largest company using XRP for this purpose, has created a software package that utilizes this feature called XRapid. XRapid is a solution that is available to an organization once Ripple implements other related components, such as Xcurrent. In late 2017 and early 2018, we saw some of the early adopter remittance processors and banks use XRapid for their payment flows. And then in 2019, with the landmark MoneyGram deal, even more organizations began using the option. To track the increasing volume levels attributable to the software package, an XRP community member named I'm just going to say HMX, that's the easiest way to read it, has developed his own set of techniques, tools, and programs for identifying these XRapid transactions from otherwise opaque payments. He accesses the data from the XRP ledger that is related to wallets belonging to XRapid participating exchanges. Here is a recent communication HMX tweeted out. Many of you are looking forward to my updates of the Tableau dashboard showing XRapid traffic between Bitstamp, Bitso, Bitstamp, Coins.ph. I've just published a script on GitHub that will allow you to do the same. Instructions in the README enjoy. And Beast continues. Analyzing the transactions requires him to first do the most difficult task, transaction identification. To do this, he zeroes in on exchange transactions. The great thing about HMX's analysis is that he's decided to share his tools and techniques on GitHub. If you're interested in XRapid adoption and progress, you should follow him on Twitter. And if you're technically proficient at data analysis, you may want to read through some of the files in his GitHub repository. All right, next. Actually, I did want to cover this. This is a piece he wrote a little bit about Coil. It was a great week for Coil authors. I counted at least 6 new authors just within my own small circle of the internet. If that's any indication, that means that more content is on the way on the new blogging platform. One thing you'll notice is that creators of this new content are from all types of genres. Some are musicians, some are photographers, others are historians. This type of potpourri is exactly what a new and growing platform needs when it comes to creating a sizable collection of content over time. Even though Coil is still technically in beta, this current trend of new content will place the team well past the starting line when they go live with the application's full set of features. One XRP fan that recently analyzed monetization is at Dr. XRP. He investigated the various use cases that he imagined in the music industry and pondered how digitization and real-time settlement could change the day-to-day way that the industry supports its singers and musicians. Right? The blog's author promised to cover monetization of the gaming industry for his next deep dive. I recommend reading through some of his blog, and it's apparent that this is one crypto market participant that takes DYOR, do your own research, seriously. So cool stuff here. Let me scroll down a little bit further here. What's the next thing I wanted to cover? I think it was a little bit lower here. There was a I'm sorry, it's taking me a second here. Here we go. Yeah, there was a there we go. Yeah, so there's a new series coming out. Check this out. The XRP Drop. Okay, in deference to Ripple's popular Ripple Drop video series, an XRP community member decided to act on a suggestion by others to create a community-sourced version. They decided to name the new series, of course, the XRP Drop. The idea was only recently proposed, so it was with some amount of surprise that I discovered that a promo video in advance of the first episode had already been created by @Zerpinator on Twitter. All right, and then you can see here's Wietse Wind on the screen here. Anyway, the series is set to begin in October, and so I'm going to link this below. So if you want to check that out, I encourage you to do so. And I think that's it for this video. He covered so much stuff here, so useful. Like I said, I'll link below. So if you want to check out some of the other stories in here that I didn't cover, go for it. Some of it I already covered kind of in depth, and I don't feel like I should repeat all of the content. Given that some of it's been like a matter of like a day or two, so I thought maybe I'll just kind of wrap it up here. But thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate all the support. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!